Oh man. So, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. We about to talk about Insecure. That might be the jingle for the rest of the season.
Girl, for real. I think so.
Oh man. So if you listened to last week's episode with Amber, by the way, which was a great episode, Burr I Am on Instagram and social, you know that we didn't like episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
Did they redeem themselves with episode 3?
I liked it.
Dawon, what you think of Boo? Let's see if you liked it too.
What? Oh, my initial reaction?
Did they redeem themselves from episode 2?
No, I would say no.
Oh, okay.
If I'm answering the question, did they redeem themselves? I'll say no, because I'll
okay, Jerrell,
continue to say why you like it.
Okay. Well, first, Kerel, you gotta say if you thought so.
They redeemed themselves for me.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay. I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. One, I love.
Oh wait, does it make me a bad person if I?
Yes, you Aaron Shock lover.
Does that make me a bad person?
Right.
No, honestly, I liked it because the person that I resonated the most with the whole episode was Keke Palmer.
I love me some.
Obviously.
What do you mean?
They're like fucking spirit animals. It's true. Keke and Jerrell like the same vibe.
That Capricorn energy.
Oh, so
I have legit been that way with like my siblings, baby fathers, baby mamas, and been like, oh, so now you want to do some shit? Like now you want to be president? Or you ain't always here doing all these things? And like, like he said, she's like, oh, that's why the baby looked like that. I said.
And shout out to Keke Palmer for like shooting her shot. She tweeted that shit out and got on fucking Insecure because she didn't like Condola. And then Issa Rae was like, guess what? I'm going to make Condola's sister. I was like, that's how you do it. That's just fucking funny.
But you know, like, I love the fact that they showed that dynamic though, because people really ride for their family. Yeah. And I can't stand how many people are talking about, oh, she was doing too much. She was doing too much. I was like, everyone got that. I know for a fact, anybody come at my sibling sideways, I'm riding. It's period. You know, so the idea that she was doing the most or that she wasn't supportive or whatever, like she was supporting from a sibling standpoint. Her job ain't supposed to support Jay or Lawrence, excuse me. Totally. Lawrence, you know, her job is to support her sister and her nephew, period. She don't got to like that man because she don't have any type of relationship with the man. That's between Condola and Lawrence at the end of the day. But she can feel exactly how she needs to. And you always need that person to remind you, like, don't get caught up and notice those red flags. Like, that's not okay. A person should not treat you like that. And a person shouldn't be a drive-by parent, you know? And at the end of the day, you are doing more because you are the one getting up, doing the feedings in the middle of the night and the baby crying, you ain't getting no damn sleep. Like they showed that scene where they crying, the baby crying, they sit at the table and he cheers in with the people, you know, with the startup company that he working with, stuff like that. I'm like,
fucking a girl. Real. Yeah. But let us not forget, however, that Condola chose that life. She's the one that said to him, I'm going to do this. And he's like, and then what he said is, well, then keep me posted. So that's what happened. So the thing that I couldn't quite understand, two things. One, I don't think that this was an episode that should have been in the finale season. I think that they should have had this last year, like last season, not last year, but last season. This, to me, like this is a storyline that in my opinion, doesn't need to be taking up one of the few 30 minutes of episodes in the last season.
Okay, that's fair. That's real.
That for me is like, does it redeem? I'm like, no, because I don't give a shit about their relationship. I want to see Issa. That's what I want to see every single episode. I want to be seeing Issa. I want to see what's going on with Molly. Like, that's what I want to see. But they dedicated this whole episode to Lawrence and Condola. So I'm just like, was it good? Was it interesting? Absolutely. But was it worthy of being in the last season? I'm like, okay, so what is we doing? We just gonna get everybody an episode now?
They did that for the people. They did that for the people because like
they wanted a Condola episode.
Yeah, they did because she got off of social media because them people were not letting that woman be a real person. Yeah, and that's I agree with you. I think that was the reason why they just wanted to get that extra kind of
they knew people were going to talk. Like they knew how much people were talking after that episode that she was pregnant. They're like, oh, we got to do this. Like, are you kidding me? If not, because I think if on the flip side, if we didn't explore, we'd be like, oh, hold on, they ain't going. Like we got a whole ass baby and they ain't exploring this baby and nothing. Like I think we on the flip side.
But did it need a whole episode though?
That's what I think so too. Because I feel like the relationship that episode needed to happen, especially how after like Issa and Lawrence went their separate ways. Right. Like to tell Lawrence's story and what he's going through, it had to show the two women that were like in his life that he was at a crossroad with. We had to see Condola's side. Because otherwise it'd be like, well, what's going on with her?
I don't disagree with you. I just would have rather seen like this story split up between a couple of like 2 episodes. Okay. Why take one whole episode? Okay. Why take one whole episode? Like we don't see Issa at all. So now this is the Lawrence show.
Walking away at the beginning.
Right. That's it.
I don't know. Like I enjoyed it because I feel like this is a real ass situation that a lot of folks that are watching this show are in. Like it's the demographic of this show, and it probably triggered a lot of emotions for a lot of folks. For us, we might have like family members and things like that going through it, but like just personally, I'm like, okay, that's not my situation. However, I do get that energy of trying to prioritize your life the older you get. And I enjoyed that part because it's just like there's so many situations where you want to do something and maybe work gets in the way. I'm married. There's situations where I'm like, I want to do this. Oh, but I got a husband. I got to make sure like you're constantly shifting and you don't always make the right decision.
Let me ask you all this.
A lot of stuff that like you thought was the right decision in the moment. And then you look back, you're like, fuck, I fucked that up.
Let me ask you all this. What did y'all think about Lawrence's like role his whole role in terms of like like how they portrayed his role in navigating those worlds of trying to be there but also managing his career and like being separated physically from a distance standpoint, and also the precipice of the pregnancy was that she was going to take care of it all by herself. Like that was the precipice. So I'm just curious, how did y'all think about his role in that?
I mean, here's the thing. I think at the ending of the episode tied it up perfectly. It's like he knows he fucked up, and she knows she fucked up. They both could do better. The hard thing with Lawrence and his at least thought process is like, my whole life I was a fuck up. Finally get my career on track. Finally get Issa, and now this happens. And I don't know how to handle this. I don't know what the right decision is because I already decided I'm going to San Francisco and damn, Condola's pregnant now. What do I do? Okay, I decided to go to San Fran. Maybe I regret that a little bit. Maybe I do want to be more involved, but now have this career that I always wanted. So, and that's why I enjoyed about the episode because these are literally real life shit that day in, day out, you're trying to manage.
I think he's going to move back to LA because at the end they said this ain't work yet. And I think he's not going to not be a father, but I think he's probably going to end up going back to LA. And he's going to be more in the show, and we'll see more dynamics.
We'll get that remote working life. This is we need that post COVID life. We need that post COVID. They didn't know it at the time.
So I don't know. I mean, like I think, I think it was a pretty accurate. I think he did a great job. And I agree with Kerel, for so long he was a fuck up, and it just really brought him back to that. But I also like the fact that we also got to see someone trying and going through the lessons of learning how to be a parent. Because like every parent says, and it is the truth, it don't come with no handbook. There is no book that'll tell you how to do it, because every parent's circumstances are different, So I really like seeing that, and also kudos to him as a character, for his character for trying to step up, even though like you said, Condola was pretty much like, I got this, but at the end of the day, it's still not the same. Like even though he is stepping in or stepping up, you just can't be like, well, I'm here. That's not enough. You know, you got to be doing the other work. Like you really have to be, you know, going to the appointments and, you know, those those feedings, and when they're sick, you know, making sure that they're okay. Like that stuff is really, it sits on you. Like when my first nephew was born, my sister and I were living with my mom at the same time. The dad really wasn't one in the picture. So I know from Kiki's side, as like the sibling, like I was getting it up in the middle of the night so my sister could sleep.
Yeah.
You know, and when he was sick, I was going to the hospital with her, you know, and making sure that she okay and making sure that he okay. You know, like those things that other people do are real. And if you can just jump in whenever you want to, like it's a game of double dutch, you're not playing for life. You just playing whenever you want to.
And I think the hard thing too, though, is like I don't know. I feel like he wants to be there more. I don't think she's willing. Like she said, she doesn't trust him, and I don't think she knows how to build the trust. So it's easier for her to shut it out. And I think they did a good job of kind of showing that kind of like that tone of lines of, okay, every time she would try to, maybe he would fuck up. And then every time he would try to, she wouldn't want it, you know, that yin and yang of it. Which is
like real, it was on his terms though. That was the thing that stuck. It felt still though more what was convenient for him. You know, like it felt like he was going when he wanted to, or wanted to be there when he wanted to. But
yeah, like and that's, I think that's why I like this episode, because everyone's gonna have a different vantage point of that based on their reality of the situation. Yeah. So you've been through that in your life situation, Jerrell. So yours is probably gonna lean a little more that way. Yeah. Other people might have been in other situations where literally I'm on a work trip, I can't say no because then now I don't got a job to try to support this kid and things like that. And even when there are good parents, like they're both parents in a household, day in, day out, there's still that struggle of like, damn, I have a client meeting and that's going to 6 p.m., but my kid has a soccer game tonight. You know, it's all those dynamics in everyone's lives, and it's creating these conversations. Because I saw the little Facebook group going crazy again. I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, honey. But that's what good TV is supposed to do. But the line of the episode is when Lawrence was asking how everyone was, and Kelly was like, everyone I associate with is thriving with abundance. Limitless. And I was like, bitch, I know that's right. Look, Natasha plays the hell of that role.
Look, I want to see the part, like, and someone said this on the Facebook group, like, I want to see on the next episode the conversation with Kelly, like, ooh, girl, they were fighting at the party. At the baby party, girl. Ooh, she was like, give me my child. Girl, it was, running back to Issa, just spilling all because you know that's how it is.
Right, exactly.
You know that's how it is. I want to see that realness in the next episode.
That is too funny. And I liked also Lawrence's friend checking him, because that's another real ass moment where you'd be like, hey dog, help me with these boxes right quick, hold on, let's have a little moment here. But then they always are. I can't wait for the Tiffany in his episode, because they keep hinting at like, what
you
was
that
struggle?
You are not the only one that think this. You are not the only one that think
really?
this.
Okay.
People are really, like, because even in that Facebook group, people are going off and thinking the same thing.
Because they keep hinting, what was their struggle? They are not telling us what their struggle really was.
Well, they floated the notion of postpartum depression as one like storyline. Right. I don't know that it's ultimately that, but like
so
that
I can't wait to that episode. That's the episode I want the fullness of. What's this Tiffany episode?
do y'all feel like we got justice for Condola through this episode?
What do you mean, like, by justice?
Yeah, because of how everybody dragged her because of her, having this baby. Do we feel like, this was justice for Condola?
I think the actress acted the shit out this role. Yeah, she acted like, and I would say yes. Like, it's real ass emotions, real ass situations. I don't know if Facebook and Twitter, all the folks watching, are going to be happy with the situation, but it's a real ass situation.
I think
people on Facebook and Twitter, because I was looking at a lot of like the comments, like a lot of especially women were just really sympathetic with her position.
That's good to hear.
Which is interesting, because, and also I found to be quite fair, because also calling her out, like, they both were doing some wrong things. It wasn't like a one-sided situation, and which I thought was great. And, also like acknowledging the fact that when you have a father that is trying to be in your kid's life, the last thing that you want to do, that you should be doing, is preventing that.
Yeah.
So like, but there's also like, you still have to, everybody has to process their own feelings, devoid of what you should be doing. People have to process that stuff on their own. And so,
and here's the hard thing too, like, weren't they breaking up and then that's when he found out that she was pregnant? I'm trying to recall, like, did they break up and then they're like, damn, I'm pregnant?
Yeah, because he started dating Issa
again. Yeah, that's right.
So they were already broken up. I think they were already.
So that's a whole nother layer of it. It's just like, okay, we were done, but damn, now we back, and like we're forced to be back. Like there's no other option. That's some real ass life.
Wild.
And the title of the show is Insecure. So you're still insecure of your decisions, still insecure of the relationships, still insecure if you want to be in this situation, So I'm here for it. I thought they redeemed it. I was actually
looking for him on Saturday because he was in Seattle. Ooh. Jay, the person that plays Lawrence.
Yeah.
Jay Ellis. He posted his picture at Piper. I said,
You put your clothes on.
Okay, I was gone.
She did the Scooby run. I know that's right, honey.
I sure did. I wasn't looking for him.
That's a whole ass man. So yeah, so community, let us know what you're thinking. Like we literally, this part of the podcast I post separately on YouTube. Go ham in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Are you liking these episodes? Are you not? Why and why so? And all that stuff. Let's have a good conversation out there.